Hello everyone, I'm Rod Wortham and welcome to this episode of Raceface Driver Updates here on Racing America. We had a busy week of racing that saw 12 drivers in action competing in a variety of different series across the country. We had Xfinity and truck racing in Nashville, ARCA in Minnesota, Trans Am in Mid-Ohio, late models in California and Alabama, INEX Legends and Bandoleros in Georgia, and quarter midgets in Indiana. That's 15 races in 8 states, so let's get right to the results. Both Anthony Alfredo and Sheldon Creed were at Nashville Superspeedway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series Tennessee Lottery 250. Anthony Alfredo entered this week's event just one position outside the playoff cut line. He qualified the number 23 Blue Otter Chevrolet in 26th. The Our Motorsports team had a strategy in place for the final stage, but never got the caution flag that they needed. Let's check in with the driver for his take on the race.
Hot as heck in Nashville, Tennessee today, but finished in the top 20, stayed out the entire final stage on the same set of tires, hoping for a caution and just never got it. So fought the balance all day long. The track took a swing from yesterday's practice, especially after that rain, and we just couldn't get the balance where we needed it all day, especially with that strategy just didn't work out our way, because that definitely would have been a great gamble for us, but had to try something, didn't work out. Thanks to Blue Otter Polarized for coming on board. Looking forward to the next race next weekend at Road America.
Up next for Anthony, road course racing at Road America on Saturday. Sheldon Creed was also at Nashville in his number 2 RCR Whelen Chevrolet. The team topped the speed charts in practice, but when it came around to qualifying, temperatures and cloud cover played a big role in your speed, and Sheldon went out in sunny conditions, resulting in a 19th place time. Sheldon ran mid-pack for most of the race before getting caught up in an incident on lap 124, ending his day. Up next for Sheldon, back to the road course at Road America on Saturday. Jesse Love was short track racing in the ARCA Menards Series at Elko Speedway in Minnesota, where he qualified his number 20 JBL.com Toyota in second. Jesse led early in the race as he and eventual race winner Sammy Smith swapped the lead in the early stages, but Jesse lost the lead on lap 62 and then chased the number 18 car for the remaining 188 laps, bringing home a second place finish. Up next for Jesse, ARCA Menards at Mid-Ohio on the road course on July 8th. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll check in on Connor Mozak, who was at Mid-Ohio, Caden Honeycutt, making his second start in the Camping World Truck Series in Music City, and Grant Thompson back in his pro late model at his home track in Mobile. We'll be right back with more Raceface Driver Updates here on Racing America.
My name is Landon Cox and you're watching Raceface Driver Updates on Racing America.
Welcome back. Connor Mozak was back in the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli at Mid-Ohio Road Course in his Scott Lagacy Racing number 28 High Point University Camaro, where he put up the fastest time in qualifying and won the pole award for Sunday's race and led the 34-car field to green. Connor led the first 26 laps before getting passed by Thomas Merrill on lap 27. Connor remained in second until the race was black flagged on lap 30 and was again passed on a controversial restart. Connor would eventually bring home his third podium finish of the year in third when the race was black flagged again on lap 35 and called due to time. We caught up with Connor after the race.
Well, we ended up P3 here at Mid-Ohio for the Trans Am race. Pretty disappointed with that finish, which I feel like it's a good day when you're disappointed to finish third, but we started on the pole. Feel like we had a really good car, just riding the first half of the race, and then had a couple cautions, had a couple restarts. I feel like our gear was off where it needed to be, so we were pretty boggy on the restarts, but had a the caution where we got past, there was still debris all over the track, and it just got all over our tires, and we had 2 corners to try to get it off, and it just wasn't enough time. So got past, and then turn 2 that same restart, and I feel like there was really nothing we could do. Just had no grip at all. And then the next restart, we were second, and the car behind us, I feel like, jumped to start. He was already at my left rear tire before I was even really in the gas. So I don't know. It wasn't the greatest restart for me, and the gear we had was really slow. So that was definitely part of it, but still felt like it was a jump start. So we ended up third, and the car's still in one piece. Got Road America next week. Feel really good about that. So hopefully we can go get our first win of the season there.
Up next for Connor, more Trans Am TA2 this weekend at Road America. Caden Honeycutt made his second start of the year in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series at Nashville Superspeedway for G2G Motorsports. The team struggled in practice, then he lost power steering early on. I can't even imagine trying to muscle that truck around in the heat. Caden refused to throw in the towel and finished on the lead lap in 21st. Here's what Caden had to say about the race.
Hey everybody, it's Caden Honeycutt here, finishing up at Nashville Superspeedway in our second Camping World Truck Series start. Had a little bit of a rough start. We made it in on time. That was a good goal that we had. Ended up finishing 21st. A rather uneventful night for us. Didn't have any damage to the truck. I appreciate Marcus Richmond, G2G Racing, my mom and dad, Friends of Jacqueline Foundation, Raceface Advancement, all my partners that have been a part of me to get me to this point. Tony Valento, Greg Harper, all my friends and family for their support last night, and I just appreciate it so much. Hopefully we'll be back better August 13th at Richmond for our third Camping World Truck Series start. That's what our goal is, and we'll hopefully be able to do that.
Sometimes the finning position does not reflect the performance of the driver, and this is one of those times. Very proud of this young man. Up next for Caden, back to the dirt. Heart of Texas Speedway on Friday in the factory stock, Dirt Late Model at Super B Speedway on Saturday, and RPM Speedway on Sunday in the factory stock. Grant Thompson was at Mobile International Speedway in his number 54 Proactive Motorsports Pro Late Model, where the starting positions were set by the pill draw due to rain. Grant drew position number 4 and started on the outside of the front row. And with a great start, he led the first lap, but then ran second for the remaining 29 laps, bringing home a second place finish. We caught up with Grant on Sunday.
Hey everyone, finished up our race in my number 54 Proactive Motorsports Pro Late Model. Had a pretty decent weekend. We had a long rain delay before the race started, so we had to start off pill draw. I had drawn 4, so that put me outside the front row, and took the green, and I got past Philly going down the back straightaway, and just kind of rubbed behind second for a few laps. Around lap 8 to 10, we had a car blow up, and we got all over the racetrack. So we had a red flag for about an hour and a half, getting them to clean that up. I want to thank Gene and everybody at Mobile International Speedway for doing a good job of getting that cleaned up. But ended up finishing second. We had a pretty good car the whole race, but I can't thank everybody at Proactive Motorsports enough for all they do. So I'll see you guys in the next one. That's a recap from Mobile International Speedway.
We're headed for another commercial break, and when we come back, we'll check in on Brody Moore and Casey Klein in round 5 of the 5150 Junior Late Model Series. Hudson Bolger is back in Hotlanta. Don't forget to look for this guy and your chance to win swag from Racing America. Write down the lap number, then go to spotterlap.com and enter to win. And we'll be right back with more Raceface driver updates here on Racing America.
Hi, my name is Cassidy Hines, and you're watching Raceface driver updates on Racing America.
Casey Klein was at Madera Speedway for round 5 of the 5150 Junior Late Model Series in his number 88 Thermert Farms Nate Clower prepared Ford. It was a hot night in Madera, California, with temperatures over 100 degrees. The Quincy Washington driver qualified 6th and brought home a 3rd place finish. The Nate Clower team then made changes to the car and he competed in the Pro Late Model event where he had earlier qualified 15th. At the drop of the green, he started his march through the field into the top 10 on lap 9 and eventually bringing home a 7th place finish. Let's check in with Casey.
Hi, I'm Casey Klein. This weekend I was racing at Madera Speedway in Madera, California. I was racing in the 5150 Junior Late Models and the Lunker Daddy Pro Late Models. I had a good car in practice for both classes. The car just had a push. I ended up qualifying 6th for the 5150 Junior Late Models, and we had a redraw, and I ended up drawing 6th. And then for the Lunker Daddy Pro Late Models, I ended up qualifying 15th, and I did not make the redraw. So I ended up starting 15th. I finished good in the Junior Late Models. I ended up finishing 3rd out of 12 cars. And in the Pro Late Models, I ended up finishing 7th out of 18 cars. And I'd like to thank all my sponsors: Thamer Farms, Sporty Steakhouse, Mountain View Polaris, Farmer Bean and Seed, Klein Auto Cell, Friends of Jacqueline, Raceface Advancement, and then I'd like to thank Nate Clower Motorsports for giving me this fast car.
Up next for Casey, Pro Late Models at Hermiston Speedway on July 2nd, and then on to Meridian Speedway on July 4th in his Super Late Model. Brody Moore was also at Madera Speedway, and the young Colorado driver qualified his number 78 Chevrolet in 5th. He had a great start to the race, moving into 2nd on lap 1 and stayed there for the next 29 laps before getting involved in an incident with the 3rd place car. Brody had to go to the tail end of the lead lap. On the restart, he moved into 7th and eventually worked his way up to a top 5 finish. We caught up with Brody after the race.
Hey everyone, we just finished round number 5 of the televised MAV TV 5150 Junior Late Model Series. We came out a little early this weekend to test some geometry adjustments as well as work on our qualifying program, which in the end it all paid off. We qualified P5 and put position 2 for the start of the main event. We were able to run some competitive lap times until we unfortunately had a spotting incident. So I'd like to sincerely apologize for that. We drove from the back and were able to bring home a top 5 finish, and I couldn't have done it without the help of my sponsors: California Apartment Association's Value Insurance Plan, ARM Multi-Insurance Services and their premier carrier, Amtrust North America, Spring Hill Suites by Marriott at Madeira, MGF Trucking by My Go Flight, Race-Based Advancement, and Friends of Jacqueline. I'd also like to thank Wilson Motorsports for all the hard work they put into this car this weekend. I'll see you at the next race. Thank you.
Up next for Brody, Super Late Models at Colorado National Speedway on July 9th. Hudson Bolger was at Atlanta Motor Speedway for rounds 6 and 7 of the Thursday Thunder Series in his number 17 Can-Am Byron Outdoor Superstore Young Lions Legend car. We caught up with Hudson for his take on round 6.
So we're out here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the 6th round of Thursday Thunder. Felt like we had a really fast car throughout the day. I mean, we just didn't qualify where we wanted to, ended up qualifying 10th. Feel like we had a way faster car than that, which showed in practice earlier. But there was only one caution throughout the race, so not a lot of time to catch up. And anyways, ended up finishing the race 9th, but we got another race tomorrow. So just come back tomorrow and hopefully qualify a lot better. I mean, we know we have the car to do it. So I'd just like to thank Can-Am, Byron Outdoor Superstore, Cirque Motorsports, Brett Reagan, and Chris Delbeck for making this happen.
Fast forward to Thursday in round 7. Here's what Hudson had to say.
So we just finished up round 7 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for Thursday Thunder. I feel like we had a really fast car, practice. I mean, just got working my qualifying, ended up started 10th. Kind of a little bit of rough racing, ended up finishing 12th, but just come back next week and try to do better. But overall, I just feel like, I just started overdriving a little bit towards the end, but I'd like to thank Can-Am, Cirque Motorsports, Byron Outdoor Superstore, Chris Delbeck, Brett Reagan, everybody else made this happen.
Hudson then made the trip to Cordell, Georgia and Chris Motorsports Park. Can the young Perry, Georgia driver change his luck? The answer to that is yes. and he parked his Young Lions car in victory lane for the first win of this year. Up next for Hudson, back to Atlanta Motor Speedway for the final round of the Thursday Thunder Series. We're headed for our last commercial break, and when we come back, we'll check in on our hottest driver, Cole Denton. Can he keep up his podium streak alive in Georgia? Jake Bowman at Carteret County and Carter Whalen and Landa Cox were both at Mini Indy. So stay right there and we'll return with more Raceface driver updates here on Racing America.
Hi, my name is Jake Bowman and you're watching Raceface driver updates on Racing America.
Welcome back. Cole Denton pulled double duty starting at Atlanta Motor Speedway for rounds 6 and 7 in the INEX Thursday Thunder Series, where he had an eventful 2 races. Cole brought home a second place finish on Wednesday and then returned to victory lane on Thursday night. Enough for me. Let's get the driver give you the details.
Hey race fans, Cole Denton. The past 2 days we're at Atlanta Motor Speedway's Thursday Night Thunder Series on the quarter mile. Race number 1 yesterday. I qualified 3rd and started pole due to a 3-car invert and got loose off of turn 4 on lap 2 and got passed for the lead, but I stayed in 2nd and a caution came out a few laps later, and when we went back green I dropped the hammer and worked my way to 1st and then got loose off of turn 4 again and got passed for the lead, but I stayed in 2nd, finishing 2nd, but I also ran track record times. Race number 2 today. I qualified pole and there was a 2-car invert, so I started 2nd. And when we went green, I dropped the hammer and cleared the leader on the outside, and a caution came out a few laps later. When we went back green, I got crossed for the lead. I crossed him back, and sadly he came down on me and we both went into the grass and got passed for a few positions. But I worked my way back up to 2nd, and a lap car, we were lapping a car, and they came down on me and I got in the grass and a caution came out. But when we went back green, I dropped the hammer, worked my way up to 2nd from 9th, and the caution came out. And when we went back green, I dropped the hammer, parking my number 46 INEX Bandolera in victory lane. I want to thank my mom and dad, Bacon Racing, my grandparents, Raceface Advancement, the Friends of Jacqueline Foundation, and Myers Construction, and most importantly, God. And by the way, guys, today I was singing Run, Run, Rudolph.
Cole then headed south to Cordell, Georgia and Chris Motorsports Park. Different track, same results.
Hey race fans, Cole Denton. Today we're at Chris Motorsports Park for race 9 of the season. I qualified 3rd in my car that has never been on this track in 2 years. And I worked my way to the lead as soon as we went green on lap 1. And a caution came out on lap 4. And when we went back green, I dropped the hammer and parked my number 46 INEX Bandolera in victory lane for the 6th overall win this season and 9th Bandit, and first ever win in this car. I want to thank my mom and dad, Bacon Racing, my grandparents, Raceface Advancement, the Friends of Jacqueline Foundation, and Myers Construction, and most importantly, God. And by the way, guys, today I was singing Catch Me Now, I'm Falling.
Up next for Cole, back to Atlanta for the final round of the Thursday Thunder Series. Carter Whalen and Landa Cox were both at Mini Indy in preparation for this week's USAC's Battle at the Brickyard at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The idea was to work on the car setup, gain a little seat time, and check out the competition. Speaking of competition, there were over 380 cars at Mini Indy. Carter competed in 3 classes: Heavy Honda, Heavy 160, and Heavy World Formula. Landon was competing in Junior Honda, Junior 160, and Junior Animal. Both drivers were able to put at least one car in the A main, with Carter scoring an 8th place finish in Heavy Honda. Landa Cox had an amazing weekend, putting all 3 cars in the 8 main straight from his heat race, one of only 2 young drivers to accomplish that feat. He finished 4th in Junior Honda out of 39 cars, 5th in Junior Animal out of 28 cars, and 4th in Junior 160 out of 24 cars. You need to attend one of these major races to understand just how difficult it is to make an A main. Good luck to both Carter and Landon this weekend at the Brickyard. Other race-face drivers seeing action this weekend include Joey East, who will return to the ARCA Racing Series West at Irwindale Speedway with Nate Clower Motorsports on July 2nd. Well, that's it for this week's Race-Face Driver Updates. And remember, if you've missed any of our shows, you can get caught up at raceface.tv on demand. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Make sure to check out Speed Zone Race Store for the latest and apparel, and be sure to play Spotters Challenge. As always, we encourage you to support local racing in your communities. We'll be back next week with more from your favorite race-face drivers, so go out there, have a great race week. I'm Rod Wortham. Thanks for watching.